This is your degenerate power hour, your late night golden shower. Too ill to be sick, so thick you can't split that carnival spin with the rictus grin. I'm Joel, he's BMO, and this is Vagrants and Vandals Radio. Yeah, you look like you're having some trouble over there.
Well, once I looked up.
The only reason I did the extended spin is because you were looking right at me, so I was like, I might as well try and break them now.
No, I'm good.
All right, so here we are. We're recording this on Labor Day, so for you listeners, you'll hear this this Thursday, of course.
What is Labor Day exactly? What are we celebrating at? Just working?
We get a we're
day?
Not exactly celebrating working. We're celebrating the American worker.
One day?
I know.
Seems like a week thing.
Yeah. Well, you know, the very work week we toil under is bullshit. We have 7 days in a week. We work 5?
Henry Ford, you can thank that piece of shit for that shit.
We get 2 off?
That was his idea.
Was it Henry Ford?
Yeah, he started the 40-hour work week. It was like a nice, in his mind, equal balance between home life and work life.
Well,
yeah, right.
Now hold on now though. I mean, not that I'm not gonna completely go to bat here for Henry Ford. He certainly had his failings, but certainly the 40-hour work week certainly better than what preceded it, because what preceded it, and industrial areas anyways,
was forever work.
You're pretty much working 12, 16 hours a day. You go home to sleep, you come back, you're doing that 7 days a week.
That's still the case in steel mills and factories like that. Like when I was at Blankington, it was, they're like, they tell you it's going to be 4 days on, 4 days off.
Uh-huh.
You're working 12-hour days and you're getting 4 days off. All right, cool. You freaking start, I caught myself, and all of a sudden, it's 6 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah.
12 to 16-hour days. I couldn't do it. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, like I'm the last person that's going to defend corporations. But the difference between today and let's say the turn of the 20th century, not only are hours regulated, some places might require people to work those kinds of hours, like steel mills. The difference is you can go and get a job somewhere else. And another key difference, they got to pay you overtime. Back then, no such thing as overtime.
Yeah, they threatened just like idle threats, like a parent would do. Well, we may have to work Sunday and Monday. I'm like, well, that's amazing. I actually hope for that because that's like double time plus holiday pay. He's like, well, but I'm like, no. That's holiday pay plus double time. Yeah, and you're going to pay it up.
Those in power don't like when people know their rights and know the law.
That'd be like $45 an hour.
Yeah.
The factory was like 75. Dude. I mean, I was like a lab tech specialist, which is such bullshit because I had like no training. They're just like, oh, you'd be good for this. Okay, cool. I'm handling sulfuric acid with no gloves and shit, like dangerous shit.
Yeah. Well, when I was in wastewater at the plant, one of the things I had to do was test the water. And to me, that's something that you probably should have specialized training for.
I would think.
Not that I didn't get some training, but not the type of training I would have envisioned. And you were dealing with, I believe one of the chemicals we used was anthrax.
Holy shit, really?
It was in a very small dose,
well,
but it's...
still is. We deal with asbestos in the district I'm working with. A lot of their fire, we had to go through a whole seminar. I didn't realize that asbestos was like a fire thing, like, because it doesn't burn. It immediately, like, so if all your walls are full of asbestos, sure, you die of cancer, but you're not going to die in a fire.
So will it just not ignite?
No, I guess. That's the way they described it. That's why it was filled indoors and hallways, and they realized, oh shit, it causes cancer. But I've been exposed to it. It is what it is. What are you going to do?
Well, big deal. You smoke how much a day?
Exactly. But I'm not one of those fucking people that are like, there we go. I'm not one of those people that are going to sit there. We had a kid, he's like, oh, my grandpa died from asbestos. Like, well, you can leave right now. You know that, right? You literally can quit your job and leave right now. You're not responsible to be here if you don't want to be.
Right.
You signed on for the job. They didn't seek you out.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and sit down.
You gotta know your rights. Rights and responsibilities. This is not hard, people. Read a little bit. Pay attention. Yeah, well, we could go down a whole rabbit hole with that. But yeah, Labor Day. It's celebrating the American worker. And what was once perhaps the greatest economy on the planet.
They made a good move by putting it on a Monday. Like, we're going to give them that one. Put it on a Monday. They fucking hate Mondays. Put it on a Monday, not a Wednesday.
Now, there's been a lot of chatter the last decade of changing our work week. A lot of Norwegian countries work like 24-hour weeks. There's been studies done that actually show human productivity starts to go down after 24 hours.
That was like Blankington's whole thing. Not the actual name of the company. It's a fakie. Their whole thing was like, you're not productive after 12 hours, but you still made me stay for 16.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense. And not only that, but we're getting to a point in civilization where so many jobs are being automated. And we've seen other countries already enact universal basic incomes, which will, people can crow and cry all they want. People getting free money. Dummies. Money is theoretical. Right. I don't know what you don't understand about that. It only holds
power because of the way our system is structured. So, you heard that Oliver Anthony song?
I've not listened to it.
It's a good song.
Wait, Oliver Anthony, he's the one like the Richmond north of...
Yeah.
I heard some of the initial flap about it, like conservatives were like, "Oh, we're heroes to him."
Both sides.
Well, then
both sides were like crying the same argument that he was like for the other side.
I didn't hear.
The motherfucker was a normal guy on Joe Rogan, acting natural as fuck, just like talking to him.
This is before the song or after?
No, this is after the song.
Okay.
Like, why would it be on before?
Well, I didn't know like he was an up-and-coming musician or something.
He plucked some former junkie out of the town. It's like, hey, let's interview this guy. Fuck it. What is he, Vagrants or Vandals?
It's mostly what they got in those small towns as junkies.
That he recovered.
He was like, I will try that in a small town. Give me that needle. Put it in my veins.
Now, see, I haven't heard that. I've heard that song. I've avoided it. It just sounded racist to me.
Oh, like, the Jason Aldean song. It is racist.
I felt like it was going to be like really racist.
It's
like,
absolutely racist. It plays on racial dog whistles. They used I think it was the Mississippi State House as the backdrop for the video. Which
how does he get away with that? How do you get away with that? How do you get away with being open? Dude, I'm not racist at all. And my black best friend tells me I'm racist every day.
Well, maybe you are a bit.
I don't think I am.
Maybe
I think I recognize that each race has their tendencies.
Oh, here we go. What's those tendencies?
White people like to name off tendencies. That's one of them. We like to categorize motherfuckers.
I didn't listen to the song in its entirety either. I watched a few news pieces on it. Of course, they played a clip. But, I mean, even a rudimentary understanding of American history, you can look at that song and go, yeah, this song is rooted in racism. I mean, just listen to the lyrics. Like, try that in a small town. Something about a bunch of good old boys getting together. What does that mean? Good old boys getting together. That means the Klan.
Yeah, I knew when I heard "try in a small town" that, like, okay, you're talking about.
For most of us, that's all we needed to hear.
Something that's not woke.
Which first of all, the idea of like small town America being this bastion of traditional values and a beacon of what your community should aspire to is a joke.
Yeah, it is.
How many times have any of us driven through small towns in America and there ain't nothing there? The economy's collapsed.
We're considered a small town, Monroe.
Well,
that's how they play us off. Like I have 3 trannies within 35 feet of me.
Trannies?
Transvestites. Well,
yeah. Okay.
Non-binary. I don't know.
What's your point?
Boy to girl, girl to boy.
What's your point?
A little bit of everything. I'm cool with all of them.
And they were like, I'm trying this in a small town. Monroe's really not a small town.
And I always say that. Well, they moved from Austin.
Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, so Austin is a Democratic bastion in Texas.
Maybe it was
very liberal.
Maybe it was Houston then.
Well, all the big cities, any metro area,
somewhere they
skews
weren't like
Democratic.
They weren't like in transvestites.
Okay, then they weren't. So maybe they were from somewhere in the burbs of those places,
possibly.
Or the outskirts or something.
She got a PhD. Their mom.
Yeah.
They flew her and her family from Texas to come teach in Monroe.
Oh, is it someone you work with at school?
No, I know her because she lives here.
Oh, okay.
They moved her in, and her daughters are they're wonderful. They do baked goods and bring me pot, and I'm okay with it.
Pot in the baked goods.
I'm not gonna complain about free baked goods and pot.
Well, here's the thing with that stupid song. I mean, it was so overtly racist. Even CMT, Country Music Television, was like, nah, homie, we polling this.
Whoa.
So when Country Music Television won't play your racist song, guess what? Your song's racist. It's not that hard.
I guess it's only going to play in small towns. You'll make no money off it, and it'll be forgotten.
And that's the thing, the whole, like, try that in a small town. Like, know what else you can't try in a small town? Starting a business, because it ain't going to work. Junkies on every corner. Like, where's the opioid crisis in this country the worst, and where was it seated? Small towns. So get the fuck out of here.
Southern small towns.
Well, and so that's the statistic that always it's always fun to remind, particularly like Republicans, of when they rail on the welfare system. And of course, what they're saying is they're talking about the inner cities, talking about metro areas, they're talking about black people. Mm-hmm. The truth of it is the majority of welfare in this country, and these are statistics, and I know some of you don't believe in statistics anymore ever since Donald Trump came along and taught you about alternate facts. Those still aren't things. Those are still just
get
lies.
on that path.
Still just lies. The place in this country that receives the most welfare is southern, white, and Republican areas.
Hey, that Oliver Anthony song, that one verse is about how you shouldn't be milking welfare for your bags of fudge around. It was so funny. I laughed audibly when I listened. I was like, oh, that's a funny line.
So initially, I saw like right-wing politicians praising him. Well, then I saw a video of him online saying, hey, I wrote this song about you guys.
Right.
Don't try and champion my song as like your cause. You're the people I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he says Richmond. What's the name of the fucking song, for Christ's
Well,
sake?
but you're talking about a political party that's become so disingenuous, so detached from reality. They don't care. They have no shame.
Now, do you have any thoughts on the? Because I heard someone, I think it was Roseanne Barr, was arguing with somebody that the 2024 election will not happen. She put a bet on it because they're going to stage some kind of fucking war with Russia. And once you're in wartime, you can no longer do that. And I mean, I don't know how much.
She's trying to say during a war you can't hold an election.
I think that's what she was saying.
Well, we held a war when we held an election when we were at war with Iraq in 2004. So
okay.
She's an idiot. I've heard her comments before.
Yeah, she's on drugs.
And the last several elections, listen, our memories are so short in this country. In 2020, same thing then. Heard, there's not going to be an election.
Oh, really?
Like, you always hear this shit comes from like the fringes, and it could come
She's
from
your drunk uncle that always has the same
it's-
prediction every 4 years about how it's going to go.
It is fringe nonsense.
You were kind of that for a second.
What?
You were that guy for a minute for me. You're always talking politics, this and that.
Yeah, but what I say makes sense. It's rooted in reality.
But then when Trump won, it was like, what the fuck? You misled me, motherfucker.
I mislead you.
Oh, you misled my ass.
How'd I mislead you?
You made me think he wasn't gonna win, and he did.
Well, he shouldn't have won. Like, it was absurd that he did win.
It was absurd.
Well, and let's remember he lost by 3 million votes.
Okay.
Another ridiculous thing about our system: you can lose by millions of votes and be declared the winner.
And still win.
Ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
We are still an experiment in democracy for what, 300 years?
200 and some years now.
As Joe Rogan said, that's like 3 people ago. That's not even that fucking long a time. If everyone lives to 100,
yeah, no,
not even that long amount of time.
In the scale of civilizations, no, this is still a very young country. Look, we could analyze the 2016 election.
I don't want to.
All day.
Don't want to.
Okay, good.
I don't like politics. I don't know how we got on that. Did I bring that up?
We kind of just like
No, I think you
eased our way into it.
You eased
You
into
brought
it.
up that song, so I thought, hey, here we go.
I brought up a song.
Well, we talked about Labor Day. Labor Day is inherently political.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah, of course it is. Labor
Thought
is
it was
political.
about working.
What's that?
Thought it was about working.
It is about working.
And they don't work.
But
They
when
just sit behind desks and
workers
70.
get exploited and then have to fight for their rights, it's an inherently political issue.
What is going on with Mitch McConnell?
Well, he's dying. I mean, he's old
that
as shit.
motherfucker
What do you mean? What's going on with
Like,
him?
he's
Like,
freezing up so he's like worse than Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
Like,
Glitch
God
McConnell?
damn. God damn.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, first of all, any candidate who runs for, I'm not going to say any public office, but as a congressperson, as a member of Senate, as you're running for the presidency, you should absolutely have to submit yourself to a physical test and a cognitive test.
And like an extensive one.
Basic fitness And
like are you going to get cancer anytime soon? Is your prostate healthy? Everything's working properly? Oh, you can't get it up? We're going to waive that. Not a big deal.
No. We don't need to
get
that specific. Simply, if you can't pass a basic cognitive test, okay, if you're freezing in front of cameras and going, oh, and then staring like a lifeless turtle, you are too fucking old to be a novice.
He was breathing.
I'm sure he was breathing.
Didn't look like it.
But you know, it's so insulting to everyone's intelligence. That little aide steps up next to him, and she was like, Senator. And then she's like putting the onus on the reporter. She's like, if everyone could just speak up, please. Speak, ma'am, he's fucking comatose. Speak up. Give me a break.
She's hitting the reset button, waiting for him to
pressing on his
reboot.
back.
His eyes just go to scrambled TVs. All of a sudden, it's like a white line, and then boom, he's back. Oh, hey, everybody.
Yeah, and
Where
you know,
was I?
And I will say this of any and all politicians, regardless of your political stripes, once you're up in your 80s and 90s, most of us are not going to be fit for office.
You know who I really like?
Oh,
Tulsi Gabbard. She's probably just gonna want to fuck her.
Well, okay,
She had like,
that's fair.
I mean, she did have a manly way about her because she was like a fucking like.
I wouldn't say she
I
had a
mean,
man. No, she's a good-looking lady.
She seemed like she had like this like not so much her physical appearance, but like her direct demeanor and like she had been in wartime situations,
Yeah.
so she spoke very directly.
Yeah.
I kind of dug that.
I
like being told what to do.
liked her in 2016. I liked her when she was kind of calling out the Democratic establishment and she was essentially stumping for Bernie Sanders. But in the time since, in particular the last couple of years, I think she's strayed a little bit. I mean,
She should post nude. That'd boost.
she should or she has?
Yeah, she should.
Oh, I was going to say, has she? Because Google.
I'm sure the government has those pictures. Like, they don't have, like, nude profiles of every person.
I don't know that why would they have nude profiles of every person?
I don't know. Why would they not?
How would they obtain... Yeah, that would be...
They scan you, bro.
That'd be...
They come in. You don't even know what's being done. You have clothes on a whoop. They scan you? Fuck, they scan you.
What do you mean they scan you?
I mean, they scan you. It's like...
Where? When?
Think you're good. Have a good day. No metal. We seen you naked.
So what are you saying? You go through at a police station, an airport. That's the government's just sucking up that data.
You saying that like Area 51 ain't got nothing like that?
How many of us go to Area 51?
Like anything of like is security wise. I'm gonna say motherfucking goddamn airports. I believe that. You think they would just have glasses that already do it? You could just like look through people's clothes.
Yeah, but even with your what are you talking? X-rays?
I wouldn't say X-rays
or heat sensors, because even with those, like, yeah,
I don't know the scientific shit for it. I just know I'm pretty sure they can see through your shit and see you naked.
They can see like a body heat temperature.
They can see your donga.
I don't know that they can.
Did you not see Hollow Man?
You're talking about a science fiction movie now.
Yeah, well,
this is what you're using as your proof.
Yeah, but listen, they had him on like the thermal. It's the only way they could see him was thermal.
Yeah.
You see the donga slapping around. Fucked up. Kevin Bacon. I didn't know that was real. Like, did they enlarge that, shrink it? I don't fucking know.
Oh, come on. They embellished it for effect. Why not?
If they didn't embellish it much then.
But okay, so on this scenario, the government has this power. They have this technology. And what they use it for is to simply have nude photos of the entire population. To what end?
It's just a baseline.
Oh, that's just part of the whole profile package.
Yeah, I mean, they want like that, like in your profile, Joel Atkins, nudie. They're like, he went through a stint where he shaved here. We don't know what was going on there. He just gave up at that point.
It's like, here it is a year later. How did you get these? No, wow, this was quite a tangent we went off on. Enjoyable. But yeah, to wrap up the point of Tulsi Gabbard, I think she went to work for some right-wing news organization. So at that point, I was like, all right, Tulsi, I'm going to see you later.
I didn't know that. She's still hot.
Well, there's no question about that.
She kind of had bad skin.
And she's got that like little wisp of like gray hair in the front.
Yeah.
I like that.
But she kind of had bad skin.
Bad skin?
Yeah.
You saw her up close.
Well, Joe Rogan, he has pretty close cameras, and you could just see like the acne scarring.
Oh, so acne scarring? I could look past that.
100%. I don't give a fuck.
You ain't gonna see that from the back anyways.
I've got acne scarring. I've got acne scarring. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying.
Wow.
It is what it is.
All of this because you asked. We were gonna do like 3-4 minutes and then play our
That's
trivia.
How spitball works.
And you asked Labor Day, and here we are.
Labor Day.
Here we are. Wow.
No question.
Right. So do we want to get into the horror trivia and then we can get into our other shit?
Of course. What's the score? I think
I haven't
even, right?
No, you're one behind me.
Okay, that sounds right.
But what the overall score is, I've not checked.
Right, but we know I'm within one.
Yes. Okay, let me go ahead and pop this open. You seen any good horror lately in any realm?
I'm getting ready to watch Get Out, which is like 10 years old.
Get Out, yeah.
Never been anywhere free ever.
Is that the one with the
Jordan Peele, where it's
the
like,
blind old dude?
No, it's like with a black dude go to the white community. I think they
Oh,
try to steal their bodies or something.
wait a second. Get Out.
Same guy who made Nope.
Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about.
I love Nope. But I also thought Us was horrible. I didn't like that at all. So we'll see.
There was a TV series. I don't think it was.
No,
was
this
that
is a
called?
movie.
This is a movie though. Okay.
This is a movie.
I have to look it up.
Also, I'm excited that I've seen that season 5's coming out. That'll be next year. I'm excited for that. The new Exorcist is out on October 13th. That's a Friday. Very good marketing. I'm trying to get a band of people to go see it. Otherwise, I'm going by myself. April won't go.
Now that we're into September, of course, I'm looking at that haunted house calendar. I'm excited for this season. I'm actually.
I want to go if we're going to get in for free.
Okay, so listen to this. My buddy, and I'm going to go ahead and give him a plug. We've been friends for a long time. My buddy Mike, he runs Deranged Haunted House in Romulus.
Mm-hmm.
I first met Mike when I was working camera at indie wrestling events, and he was like a fresh-faced vanilla baby face, like 18 years old, working at the Gibraltar Trade Center.
Vanilla baby face.
Yeah, like, white meat baby face.
Damn.
That's how we met. And then after, I don't even know how we got talking about haunts, but eventually it became one of those things where it's like, I sometimes forget that that's how we met, was like the indie wrestling scene, because we're both so into haunted houses, and that's kind of like what our friendship started to revolve around.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to him because I think we could maybe do a walkthrough video, some sort of bit
Oh, that'd be awesome.
at
cool.
Deranged. So
I mean, shit, I'll start that shit. I don't care. Give me a costume.
All right.
Hey, look at this before you get into that.
Yeah, what am I looking at?
This is in like the Monroe.
Yeah, I saw that.
County.
I liked it on Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Brandon's showing me a picture of himself and his wife April.
Good picture.
In some sort of was this like an online newsletter? It says opening day breakfast.
I think it's I'm assuming it's like a newsletter thing. As soon as she come around, she knew April. She's like, hey, you're my partner. And I'm like, oh, we're getting our picture. You have a big old camera. I'm like, you're taking our goddamn picture. It was early, bro. 7 o'clock in the morning.
When was that?
Just, I don't know, a week ago.
1, 2, 3.
Then giving all our information about where we were. Oh, they're both on days at a school. Their house is empty. Feel free to stop by. This is their address.
There's their kids' names.
Their kids like electronics, so you have plenty to shop for.
You gotta be careful about that shit nowadays because so much information does get out there. All right, so you want to go first? You want me to go first? I don't care.
I'll go first. Screw it.
You want me to read you first?
No, I'm gonna read.
Oh, okay.
That's what that means.
All right, so to recap, we got to double check on the score, but we do know I am up by 1. And at some point, we're going to need to decide an end score. I think we tossed around number 50.
That's what I thought.
Maybe 100.
I thought 50.
We'll double check on that, listeners.
I mean, it goes quick, so. All right. What 2008 French horror movie involved the flaying of the main character in order to allow her to reach a state of transcendence?
2008 French horror movie?
I don't have any idea what this could be. I'm actually going to make it. No, I'm not, because I don't. It's not French.
It's not a French title?
It doesn't say.
No. But like on the back, is it a French word?
I can't give you that.
Come on, you can't.
I'm not flipping it over till the time comes. Those is the rule, for what I heard.
Well, I don't fucking know, so let's go with Le Fléon.
Oh my God, it could be that.
What if it's
Matriarchs? Matriarchs?
That word is martyrs, sir.
Martyrs. That's spelled weird. M-A-R-T-Y. It's like Marty spelled wrong with an R and S.
Your reading comprehension needs work.
Hey, I'm no teacher. I'm a janitor.
Okay.
I didn't get there by happenstance.
Here we go. What 1981 sequel is the feature film directorial debut of James Cameron?
I'm going to need you to read that one more time. I'm sorry, I was reading the question.
What 1981 sequel is the feature film directorial debut
Aliens 2.
of James Cameron?
Aliens 2.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Why did I think James Cameron has something to do with aliens? They just seem right. It happens.
All right. Round 2.
I kind of want to ask you that question because I don't know if you'll get it. I feel like you would. I'd be ashamed if you didn't get it. But you're up, so I can't be giving you softballs, homie. Okay. What kind of powers do the Scanners possess in the 1981 film Scanners?
Scanners was 81?
Mm-hmm. I know. I thought it was way later than that, too. Like 88, maybe. I can picture the poster perfectly.
Mind control.
That's a good guess. I don't actually know, off the rip. Can you be more specific?
Okay. So, yeah, let's go with, telekinesis.
Can you be more specific?
Well, how can I be more specific than that? That's a specific.
What is the act of?
What's the act?
Like, yeah, what?
Oh, they have the power to move objects with their mind.
Come on, I'm looking for a word. Starts with a T. You're there. You're pretty much there. We'll give it to you. It's telekinetic.
Well, yeah, that's telekinesis.
Yeah, but you said telekinesis. You didn't say telekinetic.
Dude, I mean, it's the same thing. It's a different
form
form of the
I
word.
was just trying to be thorough. I tried to give you no free points, motherfucker.
Well, I got it, so I'll take it.
I gave it to you.
All right. Okay.
Ooh, that's right.
Which installment of Halloween did Jamie Lee Curtis and Janet Leigh star in together?
Janet Leigh, why am I... I'm going to say Halloween, the first one.
Incorrect.
Third one?
Halloween H2O, released in 98, I believe.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who that chick is. Janet Leigh? Who the fuck is that? Fucking nobody. That's who she is.
All right, question.
That's a good question.
3 for me, up on nothing.
I'm going to ask you this only because I think it plays to the fact this is horror trivia. And this is like legitimate horror trivia. Like, you watch the movies, you know the answer to this. I did tell you my mom didn't know the password, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why does Lance Herkinson... Oh, let me rephrase that. Why does Lance Herkinson's character summon the demon Pumpkinhead?
Oh, God, I haven't seen Pumpkinhead.
And this is what it's all about right here. Have you seen the movie?
I saw it when I was a little kid.
Right. I watched it within the last 2 years, so I'm pretty familiar.
Because he wants to get laid. Like he's hoping Pumpkinhead will help him get a bitch. He wants to lose his virginity.
Oh, my God. No. Some drunk fucks, kids are riding dirt bikes, and his little kids run around, and they land right on top of them, and then they skedaddle out of there like pieces of shit.
That's what it says on the card.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I've seen it. Okay. To seek revenge for his son's death.
Oh, it's his kid. Okay. That seems like a plausible reason to summon
100%.
Pumpkinhead.
Dude, when you watch it, you're like, you motherfuckers. Like, I know you didn't do that intentionally, but you just crushed that poor little kid, and you're just going to leave. You're not even going to get help. You're just leaving.
Now, isn't there a scene in Pumpkinhead where there's a circle of people, and they're chanting, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead?
Not in the first one. I believe that is number 2 or 3.
I might watch
it's
that
like
this
more
fall.
like it's like more of the lore of it, like the lore. You know, like remember how Leprechaun did that? First one was like about the leprechaun, but the second one was like more about the lore of the leprechaun. Third one delved into 2.
Leprechaun. Love those movies as a kid because wasn't the second one. There's a pair of titties.
No, second one sucks.
Wasn't that the one where he goes to Vegas?
Third one.
Third one's Vegas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's titties.
Yeah.
Lots of titties. Yeah. And then more titties in 4 when he goes to space.
Space, and then he goes to the hood.
And then there's a real lack of titties from there on out.
That's too bad.
Jennifer Aniston was in the.
She didn't show her jugs. No, before she was really known.
No, she wasn't even that good looking.
Yeah, she was very pretty.
She got her nose fixed.
She's still pretty to this day, and she's like in her mid 50s or pushing 60 or some shit.
That's only like 10 years older than me, so I don't give a fuck. Hey, my question.
Yeah, this is
question
3 for BMO. Score is 1-0 in favor of myself. What 1978 film features footage of supposedly real deaths and boasted about it being banned in 40 countries? I think I know the answer.
I think I know the answer, too. I think it's Cannibal Holocaust.
Final answer?
Give me a second. Read it one more time.
What 1978 film features footage of supposedly real deaths and boasted about it being banned in 40 countries?
Because they had to go to court because they had like people sitting on like stakes with bike seats on them to make it look. I'm going to go with Cannibal Holocaust.
That is incorrect.
Really?
I believe Cannibal Holocaust was 81. And it's credited as being like the first found footage horror movie.
What is this?
I was surprised you missed this. Faces of Death.
Those are all, dude, 100% fake.
Yes, they're bullshit.
That pisses me off.
Mike had them. My stepdad had those on VHS, bootleg VHS when we were kids.
I feel like that question is misleading because it was like a lot of like cuts, like documentary style. Like there's a monkey getting trapped in a table and they're breaking his head open, eating his brains and shit.
Yeah.
Like if that would have said documentary, I think I would have got that. But whatever, it is what it is. Not the end of the world.
All right, round 4. I'm up 1-0.
I don't know if I can ask you that because you blatantly ripped that off from one of your own things.
Now I'm curious.
I don't know if I can do that.
Blade ripped it off. Now I gotta know.
Okay. Now we'll read it to you afterwards. I'm not reading it to you.
Fine.
It's a fucking game. You ripped the idea off, so how would you not know?
Well, I don't know what the question is, so I can't answer to your accusations.
You know what that means? He's ripped off a lot of fucking things, and he cannot put it together. It was something you did with Ryan. What attacks a group of teens in 1986 movie Chopping Mall when they are trapped inside a shopping mall after dark?
A robot.
You sure? Not the Ghoulies?
Robot.
I think so too, actually. Can you be more specific?
Dude, if it's a fucking robot, if it says android or cyborg, come on.
It says security robot.
All right. Okay.
Well, that's most retarded.
I've heard that movie sucks, by the way. Chopping Mall.
Really?
Yeah. My buddy Steve.
Isn't that what like Gore Lords was like based off of slightly?
The minifigs?
Yeah.
Really?
They kind of had like a chopping mall type aesthetic to them, in my opinion.
I mean,
Like
they had. I mean,
they had that one that looked like the damn thing from Chopping Mall.
oh, Murdroid.
I mean, whatever.
Hey, did the second series ever get released?
No, isn't that fucked up?
Because they had the playset.
Dude, I would definitely have bought them if they'd come out.
All
I
right.
still have all my minis.
Yeah, no, but my now retired former supervisor Steve told me. I asked about Chopping Mall once, and he's like, "Yeah, it wasn't very good." So
You get Mr. Severus. This man gets the most lobby of lob balls there ever was.
okay.
This one is like dead giveaway, free point.
all right. This 2001 film involves a religious fanatical father taking his 2 sons on a divine mission to kill demons. Name the film.
Frailty.
Correct.
Ooh, I love me some good shit.
So we move to the final round.
Didn't even have to think about that. I'd never even seen it, but I know the poster. It's who is that? It's not McConaughey. It's like Bill Paxton or something.
All right,
It's like-
all right.
You don't hear the weird shit. Didn't he? He did not say that in the movie Dazed and Confused.
I think he did.
Okay, so listen, I've been saying that my whole life. I mean, since I've seen that movie, like, all right. And, that's why I love high school girls. They stay the same age, I get older.
Well, you put it in opposite.
Okay, but
yeah.
whatever. But they're
You gave away the punchline.
okay,
Yeah.
but they're saying like that he come up with that on the spot for Wolf of Wall Street or something.
No. That was years before Wolf of Wall Street.
And I'm like, I know I'm not fucking insane.
Because if you're telling me that this is a Mandela effect thing that you've been talking about,
100%. That's what I thought. Like, I've been saying that for years. And if everyone laughed at that,
predates Wolf of Wall Street.
we got to do some.
Yeah, we do. Because I'm positive.
I'm glad you remember.
And if it,
But you also remember a trip to Texas that never happened.
we were kids.
So now I'm starting to
we
wonder,
were
bro. I don't
fucking
know,
children.
man.
Okay, I think it was a dream I had. I think I told you about it, and you just went along
I
with it.
convoluted it. Like, oh yeah, bro, blue jays. Like,
You reinforced my delusions.
But this is for real.
I was gaslit.
My mom loves her gaslighting.
All right,
She's been doing it her whole life. She didn't even know there was a name for it.
Damn. Final round. I'm up 2-1.
This is so stupid. What are the 7 deadly sins featured in the movie Seven? That's the hard question.
The 7. Well, you got to know the 7 deadly sins.
Who doesn't know that?
All right. 1 or 2 are easy to miss. So there's gluttony, sloth, envy.
That's 3.
Greed.
Yes.
Murder.
This is not, listen, this is one of those ones you gotta have a time on. Like, you got like 10 seconds. You better start spitting them out. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Lust.
Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final answer. Spit it out.
Gluttony, sloth, greed, lust, envy. I don't know. I can't pull that.
Pride and wrath.
Oh, wrath. I should have known. Yeah, pride. I never would have got. Wrath. Damn it.
Hi.
Okay.
You want to do the other one was? What classic horror movie set in Haddonfield, Illinois? Some softball cockney bullshit is that?
Okay. Yeah.
Nonsense.
All right. Last question for the day. Can Brandon tie?
Come
or
on,
am
baby.
I pushing my overall lead to 2?
Come on, baby.
A horror novelist returns to his boyhood home and finds that it has been invaded by ghosts and ghouls in this 1985 movie. Now, before we continue, did we have this already?
I think so. The house.
Yeah, we did have this. So we throw it out. Dude, that's what we've been doing. We both just agreed we had it before.
That's fucked up.
We throwing it out.
I don't think we had that.
So this is a fair question.
All right.
Bob Clark directed both A Christmas Story and this 1974 Christmas slasher movie.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Final answer?
Fuck, is it just called Silent Night? Or is it just called Deadly Night? And then Tales from the Crypt did a very similar thing with that. I'm going to go with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
It's a movie that was remade a decade or so ago, Black Christmas.
Oh, motherfucker.
You ever see Black Christmas, the original?
I don't think I have.
It's a pretty good movie.
God damn
Yeah, you
it.
never would have guessed the guy who made Christmas Story directed that. But
Guy's got a Christmas fetish, clearly.
I guess so.
Motherfucker. But yeah, you're right. That was a fair question.
So, I am up by 2.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
and your
that's
mama.
seven deadly.
Go fuck with your uppity mama who's bitching on the podcast.
Let me give you the fallout from that. So, all right. So, you are regular listeners. I know you listened to it. You heard it. A few of you even messaged me about it. So I go there directly from here that day to pick up August.
I haven't heard this.
And she says nothing about it. Not a word.
Like it never happened.
Can you believe that?
Like it never happened.
And I can tell you that is so often how it goes with my mom when she gets on one of those kicks.
She gaslighting your ass.
I guess.
I know what you're talking about. What
then
happened?
I see her and it's like, oh, I didn't bring it up, but she was just like, it was like a different demeanor, and I'm like, okay, I guess you get that out of your system.
Maybe that's what she did. A little bitch fest.
I'm definitely not bringing it up.
Do we not say all the time that the podcast is good for that? It's almost like she knew she was calling in while we were doing it. She knew what you were fucking doing.
She felt the energy.
She was like, I can make my point known. And it'll be like, I don't know if your mom had this deep of thoughts, but she might say like, hey, I can at least get my point across, and it's on film now or on audio.
Yes. Whatever. It had to be edited a bit, so.
Hey, I heard that.
Edited to protect the innocent.
Andrew didn't hear it. I heard it. I was like, oh, there's some editing. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you couldn't hear it? I heard little clips.
Yeah. Well, anytime
detail
it's
drop.
anytime it's like shit that comes to the kids, I gotta exercise.
Joel's just like his
caution.
own. Joel's just like his own mom. He likes to talk all the gossip, but he don't want to air his own dirt.
I'm not
He's just like, hey,
broadcasting
Rob.
certain details about my children that might upset their mothers. Not doing that.
No, you can cut this out if you want.
Yeah, so, okay, let's move on from that. Yeah, so nothing really further came of it. And, we're now, the closing date on the house is September 22nd. We cleared probably the final big hurdle was the appraisal, which, for those of you who don't know, if you've never bought a house before,
Nope.
If a house appraises less than the price you agreed to pay,
Right.
well, you got a fucking problem.
Why is that a problem?
It throws a wrench in the whole deal. Well, because the seller is like, well, I'm not coming off my price. They agreed to pay 100 and whatever. And as the buyer, you're like, yeah, we did, but the appraiser's saying it's not worth that much.
No,
so then essentially, so here's the two choices you have when that happens. You can, okay, so let's say let's say you're paying $150,000 for a house, and the appraisal comes in. They're like, oh no, this house is only worth 140.
Right?
You can go to the seller and say, okay, well, we'll agree to pay you 10 grand cash to make up the difference, because the bank is not going to loan you the difference.
Right. Okay, I get that.
So you're hoping the appraisal comes in higher, which ours did. I was relieved. So we cleared that hurdle.
Yeah. Well, how the fuck does that work? If maybe if you're like ultra rich, you know, like money in the bank, but if I'm taking out a bank loan for something,
right,
and I'm going to buy something, and all of a sudden I'm approved for this, and it comes back to this, like.
That's why it's a problem.
Where can you just like shit the money out?
Well, then for most people, it's like you either you come to agreement with the seller, and then maybe you go borrow the money from a family member or a friend, or get a second loan or something. Yeah, it really fucked things up.
Let's hope this takes off. We could be those people.
So I was very relieved. I think I got the appraisal on Friday.
You better soundproof the fuck out that room, and it better be only for podcasting, bro. I'm serious. I'll be so pissed if it's not.
It's gonna be a walled off studio.
If it's like a / kids room,
no,
like we're dealing with here in the honey hole, which we haven't mentioned in a long time. The honey hole, the original studio. It's meek, it's modest, it's not soundproof, it's full of bullshit. But hey,
and you know, if you listen with headphones on, you can hear shit from outside.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Usually, I don't listen with headphones, but sometimes when I'm at work and I'm running up our view count,
I prefer the headphone. I way prefer it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terribly distracting, but you can hear a little, like idle chatter out there, kids playing, or you hear insects
in the background doing something, dude. So, I don't know.
So yeah, I was very relieved to get that news Friday. Now the only thing that's left, honestly, I don't know that there's anything left from for me. Now here's the question I have, and I got a message. Our good buddy the Duke, who's in retail,
Mr.
realtor
Duke guy.
So, I'm putting $10,000 down, but I'm like, well, at what point is this just a thing where it's like, do I just transfer it to the bank? Do I like walk in like Daddy Warbucks with $10,000 like a brick of cash and put it on the table?
Might as well film it.
Same with the closing costs. I'm like,
what?
How do I handle any of this? Because I'd prefer not to show up with that much cash at any given time.
Where are you at on timestamp, huh?
So, we're 44 minutes in.
I'll be right back. Bathroom break.
Bathroom break. Yeah, the bathroom is the refrigerator, and the break is grabbing a beer. All right, so I'll just commentate as I usually do. BMO staggers off. Now, when I talked to him at about 3:30, he had told me he was 3 deep. He's got 2 empties on the table, and there was probably a good hour from the time that he told me he was 3 deep, but by the time I got here. So let's assume he drank at least 1 or 2 in that time. I'm going to go ahead and estimate that BMO is 6 or 7 beverages deep up in here. How many you deep today? Huh? How many you downed already?
7.
7. There it goes. I had it right. My math was sound. All right, so that's the house update.
Lost count, though.
The good thing is we're going to have 8 days left in the apartment. We're essentially going to have 8 days to move, which is a nice op. We don't have to do it all over one weekend.
Straight up.
Which takes some pressure off of me. You guys, this is a couple weeks back now. We had all that rain, those terrible storms. The apartment flooded.
Motherfucker. Sure did.
And this ain't the first time it's happened.
Talk about wet-ass pussy. That was his apartment, bro. One giant wet-ass pussy. There was shit flowing out of our apartment. Like, all, like, the dog hair and, like, just shit on your floor. Flowing right out our door in the hallway. And I was embarrassed, so I walked out and I looked at my neighbor's door. Same thing.
Well, sure.
Just...
What? Now, so when you posted that, I was curious. How much water was on the floor? This is the whole apartment, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Every room.
I would say 5 inches.
Damn.
So, like... It was a decent amount of standing water. Now, we learned because this happened before, so a lot of our shit was in what you see these bins.
Yeah.
Certain things kind of got fucked, but for the most part, it wasn't horrible.
Now, where did the water come in from?
Everywhere. It just like flows from the walls and from underneath. It's scary. The one maintenance guy was telling me, he was like, I'm sitting in my apartment at 2 o'clock in the morning drinking a beer. It's like I'm on the Titanic. All of a sudden, water starts flowing from every angle, pooling in the middle.
So it's just coming through any little crack and crevice it can
nothing,
find.
Yep, nothing you can do. Not a thing that can be done.
So what has management said they're going to do to correct such a problem?
They have no idea. They gave us $100 credit. Whoopee
What?
fucking dude.
Okay, so I'm assuming they took care of all the cleanup. They got a company in.
Oh, yeah.
They $100 credit. That's a joke.
It was
like
laughable.
I can't believe the city allows an apartment complex to exist where that happens.
But the whole neighborhood behind us flooded as well. It wasn't just here.
Well, I get that.
Literally, this whole area was underwater.
But like, we've got regulations for a reason, and it seems like somebody who repeatedly lets their complex flood, that's what we call a slumlord.
Last time we got FEMA help. Because, like, there's other shit going on in Michigan, so FEMA was here.
Uh-huh.
And, like, we were eligible for, like, we paid our rent for, like, a year.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Nice.
It might not have been the whole year, but it was at least, like, 7-8 months they paid our rent. I was like, what the fuck? Give me that FEMA, baby.
Yeah.
No, so I don't think FEMA's running where someone just peeked in our window.
Gibby. He was waving from the window. So in the honey hole.
The honey hole.
For those of you who don't know, the window in the honey hole is level with the ground outside.
Yeah, that's why we're at flood risk. It's fucked up.
You see, that's one thing. It's always a concern in Wyandotte, being right by the river. Is is your basement going to flood? I mean, so we went to so many properties, and the basement's key to me because that's where I want to put the studio, either a basement or a garage.
All electronics.
And it isn't just the flooding. It's like if you go in a basement and you smell it's musty, that's going to fuck up your equipment in the long run too.
Right, I get it.
So it's like the basement's got to be sealed up tight. It needs to be dry. And this house, like, we saw no evidence of any flooding. And I always take my stepdad with me because he knows all that shit. Mike built the addition on the house.
Yeah, I say Mike knows this shit. He's still doing okay?
Yeah.
I miss him.
He's definitely slowed down since those heart surgeries.
He's old as fuck.
He says he's going to retire.
I thought he was already retired.
No, he's going to go until...
He don't quit.
Is it this December or the next? I can't remember. He's always pushing it back. But I think he's finally serious.
Was our generation like the first lazy one? We're like level 1 laziness. Like, we still have work ethic. We still work, but we hate every minute.
Nobody's ever liked going to work. Nobody.
I feel like these old fucks seem to enjoy it.
Nah. Look, you like aspects of going to work. You know what they like about going to work? And I'm not saying nobody likes their job.
Other than the money.
I like many aspects of my job. On the average day, I enjoy going to work.
We'll see what the day shift brings me.
There's definitely things I don't enjoy about my job. There's people I have to interact with that I don't really particularly care to interact with. But if given the choice, if the government was like, hey, Joel, here's your income that you make at your current job, and we're just going to give it to you to stay home, I'd say, yeah, okay, Uncle Sam.
100%. Was that not COVID?
Absolutely.
Was that not COVID?
Well, not really. You didn't. No.
I made the joke the other day at school. It's like, man,
they gave us a pittance during COVID.
I said, I can't wait for the next pandemic. Are you kidding me? I was bringing home double what I was making at the factory, bro.
All right, but
and not having to do anything.
Yeah, but think about what was happening to our lives.
Don't care.
And then compare that to what other countries were doing for their citizens.
You understand what I do when I'm out at work? I sit out in my car, I smoke cigarettes, I drink beer, I'm chill. They were paying me double to do that.
Yeah, I understand that, and that sounds nice. It's like one lump sum payment.
It was nice.
Or 2 or 3, whatever it was we got. But stretch that out over a year's time. And it's like, oh, our government gave each of us like $80 a month. It was nothing.
No, I was getting more than that, bro. I was getting like $2,000.
I'm gonna need to see documentation,
dude.
We're gonna run the numbers.
I was bringing home $1,000 a week. I think close to that.
Maybe you tapped into some special COVID program.
Well, being in a married household with an adult and 2 kids of the same mother.
Oh, look at him.
Absolutely.
Bragging it up
Go
again.
ahead and cut it down.
Ooh, on all my government forms, it says married.
They said, can you mark that P.O. box? Sure can. Thank you.
You know what does piss me off? On so many forms, it'll say...
Oh, did I even need to correct that?
Nope.
I don't think that beer's empty.
So many
motherfucker.
So many forms it'll say married, single, widowed, divorced. I'm like, it's so offensive. I'm like, what the fuck? What is it of your business if someone's divorced?
Taxable brackets.
I just check single, but single.
Why can't you just stay married? I'm so hard about that.
Listen,
Leo can get away with it because he's fucking loaded. He can swap out for new 25.
who's Leo?
DiCaprio. You might want to catch up on your pop culture, homie.
God. Point is, it's annoying, and I never check divorced. I'm like, fuck you. I'm putting single because that's my marital status.
Single?
Yeah.
Has your marital status single? Got a wife in the house.
I don't have a wife in the house.
What are you waiting for? Puberty to hit me before you marry?
Man, what are you going to do in 5 years when she's like 30?
I don't know,
like,
dude.
The jokes aren't even going to work.
I'm hoping you're like Leo and dropped her by then and got someone new, and
That's
the jokes
fair.
will keep replicating.
That's fair.
Good times. Good times.
All right, so we're going to do one more thing before this episode's up. I get here today, and one, I'm enjoying a chicken sandwich, and of course, Brandon strolls up to my fucking car. He's like, "Where's mine?"
What the fuck? Why would I not ask that?
I was actually contemplating stopping and finishing it before I got here, just so you weren't
I
like,
thought you were gonna say buy me one.
"Where's the company credit card burger for me?"
Dude, my work gives out Chick-fil-A cards all the time. It says, "Be our guest." You can get a free chicken sandwich of your choice and a milkshake. Why aren't you replicating that, bro?
I ain't a whole ass school district, okay?
Why aren't you replicating that shit?
Okay, so other than the chicken sandwich, I get here, and BMO starts telling me a story about how he was, I'm just going to say it, nearly mauled by an owl. Tell me this story.
I don't know if I say it was almost. I mean, I could have.
No, dude, you could have been.
I certainly could have been.
Owls are vicious when they need to be.
I would have been in big trouble. So I was sitting outside, and I'm good for watching the trees. And like usually every day around a certain time, there's like this flock of like little birds that come in. I don't know what they're called. They're something sparrows, but they're fucking loud and annoying. They weren't there. They were nowhere to be seen. So I didn't get it. So all of a sudden, this falcon flies in. And he comes in the tree, so I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to get a picture. Get my phone. I'm climbing up in this tree. Not climbing up in it, but I'm like, it's a big-ass pine tree.
Yeah. You can actually see it from the honey hole.
Yeah, you can see it from the honey hole. You actually could have seen this sad beast from the honey hole. So I walk in there. I'm taking pictures, and this damn thing is puffed up. He's like...
The falcon.
Yeah, he's freaking out.
And the fact that the falcon was acting like this didn't clue you in that you were in trouble?
No, I mean, he wasn't even looking at me.
Right. Because there was a predator that it was more worried about.
I thought his thing was to not look at me, to make me think he wasn't looking at me so he could attack me. But I'm still taking my pictures, regardless. I get my 3 or 4. I'm happy with what I got. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. Get to the car. The kids are like, hey, there's another one. I said, no, there's not. You've seen the same bird twice. He's jumping around. He was doing
silly, dumbass kids.
Because he was moving from branch to branch. Oh, excuse me. They said, no, Dad, we think there's an owl in here. I said, no, I know you're full of shit. Because owls are nocturnal. They would not be out during the day. So I walk over there to appease the young stupids. And sure enough, when I walk in there and I get down underneath and I look
You go
up,
back under there.
yeah, and this motherfucker is sitting right there like...
And it was about eye level, right?
A little bit above me, but because I had to get on the ground to go from the opposite side.
Right.
The other side I walked in.
But my point is clearly in the danger zone.
Oh, he could have struck. He could have grabbed my forearm as I was taking a picture, holding it up. He'd have grabbed that chunk of meat.
Whoa. You took a picture of it?
I took a picture of both.
So wait, you get back under there. You confirm that indeed there's an owl.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures.
And you could be in danger.
Motherfuckers like you, I mean, you got pictures of aliens,
your thought
bro.
is...
I took pictures.
It's an owl. It's not a thunderbird.
April took videos.
You guys are so lucky.
That damn thing.
You did not get fucked up.
This is what I think happened. And I told her, I said, so owls are obviously nocturnal animals. What happened was probably he got no food last night. He hunted. He got nothing. So morning came, he was starving. Or afternoon came, he was starving. He had to go get food. He crushed this fucking nest, bro. He swooped in. Boom. The whole nest was, you know how those are? It was pinched.
Mm-hmm.
And then he dropped that ball of bird goop. It was all feathers and blood and nastiness. I thought it was a falcon and spit it up.
He said, come at me, bro.
I still hadn't seen the damn owl at that point. And I said, watch, when he leaves, he's going to dip down and grab that ball of meat. That's his dinner. He's going to go fly off and eat it and sleep until night hits, and he'll go back hunting again. I promise you that's what happened. It had to have been. It was like only out of necessity that his ass was hunting during the day. Maybe he learned something. Easy pickings during the day. They don't even expect that shit. I'm a day owl now, bitch.
Easy pickings. He could have plucked your eye out.
He could have fucked me up. No, he went for my eyes. He would have took my arm.
Owls could mess you. Well, he went for your face.
Talons like that.
Yeah.
Oh, blows my arm out. Breaks the bone.
Damn. Well.
Hope Vagrants and Vandals got health insurance. The fuck?
Well, I mean, I do, but not through our podcast.
Well, I'm going to need you to put me on it as a dependent through your work, okay?
They're like, I'm sorry.
Figure it out.
They're like, oh, this is for your son? I'm like, no, this is my 40-year-old cousin. All right, if you want to interact with the show, you know how to get a hold of us. What?
Got a shout out.
Okay, hurry up.
Shout out to my big brother, Billy. He's not doing good. Everyone's sending me good thoughts and prayers. I'm not religious, so I don't pray. But if you do, send him the prayers, Billy Morrison, because he's not doing good. He's on his way out. 42 years old, brain tumor, getting ready to kick the bucket. So let's pray for him. Let's go, fam. Let's go.
This is how you wanted to end the show.
That's exactly. I was going to do it in the beginning. I was like,
Does he listen?
He's catatonic.
I didn't know he was catatonic. You told me you had a couple phone calls with him.
He
so
hasn't
I thought...
he hasn't eaten in 9 days.
Ugh, yeah.
It's like Grandpa.
That's
You know, like he's just on he's on the shit.
So if you want to interact with us, you know how to do that.
It's depressing.
Vagrants and Vandals at gmail.com. That's vagrants, the letter N, vandals at gmail.com. Tune in next week. We're going to have a special guest on the show.
Hey.
You're going to have to just tune in to find out who that going to be. But, clue, it's one of our regular listeners.
And was he not featured on a Korn album?
What?
Name-wise?
I guess we'll ask about that. We're out of time. We got to go.
Don't you cut me off, motherfucker.
And remember, be you vagrant or be you vandal, all rascals and rogues, welcome here.